Hello, this is Devin from DFI Amplified Wellness and wanted to bring you some information today specifically around tracking your food as part of your strategy for improved health. So this is something here that I think you can learn from. We're going to show a clip here in a minute from Dr. Lane Norton. He's a YouTuber that promotes certain things, but we definitely do subscribe to a lot of his thinking and his information. So the question is around tracking food, and is it just being obsessive? But another way to think about it is as another form of diet. You really can't lose weight. You can't change your body composition without giving something up. So you have to either give up flexibility and only eat meat like carnivore, or maybe it's go vegetarian. You're going to give up all meat and just go vegetarian, and that's your strategy. Or you perhaps go through the inconvenience of tracking your food, and that's what we're talking about. So using an app like MyFitnessPal to track your food as your method to control what you eat, to keep you within the confines of macro and calorie goals. So consider that when you consider doing some tracking, and it doesn't hurt to do it just for a week. In fact, you could gain a lot. So if you listen to these clips, Dr. Lane Norton will speak to each of those things that I just mentioned, as well as perhaps some more. Maybe you'll gain something from this. And if you watch it and have any questions about that, contact us or just comment on the video, and we'll get that and respond in kind. So give it a try. Consider tracking your nutrition for a week. It's easy, and it won't take you much time. You'll learn a lot, and you'll perhaps find a new habit that'll help you reach your next fitness goal.
Part of it is some people will be resistant at first and then actually really enjoy it later. Which I'm sure you've seen that with fasting as well, or low carb, those sorts of things. But it really just boils down to how willing is somebody to make this part of their lifestyle, right? So all of them have downsides, right? Like if you're on a ketogenic diet and you're going out, and there's a lot you can't eat, but you can usually make do most places. Might get some funny looks from your friends and family, but whatever. Time restricted feeding, hey, you want to go out and join us for breakfast? Can't. I'll sit and I'll drink some water. So there's downsides with flexible dieting. The downside is I've got to account for it, right? And so we know the data on reporting for food is like horrible. People underreport by like 50%, and it's pretty consistent in the studies. And people really take that as like an affront. So, well, I'm not a liar.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that people are lying. I think people are just really horrible estimators of what they eat. Like if you ever want to be depressed, go weigh out a serving of cereal, or weigh out a serving of ice cream, or a serving of peanut butter. People, when they do these food recalls, a serving of ice cream is not a bowl of ice cream. Like a bowl of ice cream is probably 3 times more than a serving in terms of what people are actually taking in. So it makes total sense as to why people underestimate their energy intake. And one of the things I'll say is, even if you don't land on flexible dieting as the tool that you want to use, tracking and weighing every single thing you put in your mouth for a week is an incredibly valuable tool, because it will teach you about portion control. And actually, you'll learn more about nutrition in that week than probably doing anything else, to be honest. Now, a lot of people don't want to do it because it's the same reason a lot of people don't want to keep a budget for their money, because they don't want to know where it's going, because then it's kind of like, here's the mirror, and you have to look at yourself and say, ooh, where have I been spending my money, right? Oh, I spent, $500 on Uber Eats last month, or, whatever it is. Well, then with, macro tracking, again, it's very much, oh man, I have had this so many times. People say, I'm eating 1,500 calories a day and can't lose weight. Right?
Do you think that the act of tracking it is what's putting a governor on it? In other words, do you think the fact that you had to enter 40 grams of brownie is what prevented you from having 3?
For some people, absolutely, right? And this is one of the most basic laws of science. When you monitor something, it changes, right? So I've done this so many times with people who have said the following, like, I'm eating 1,500 calories, can't lose fat. And I've said, listen, I don't expect you to do this forever, but for 1 week, just 1 week, everything you put in your mouth, weigh it on a scale and track it. Okay. And then come back to me and let's talk. One of two things happen. They go, oh my God, I was actually eating 2,800 calories. I go, well, welcome to freedom, because now you know that you're not broken, right? Like you're actually, like, you can modify, right? Or the other thing happens. They actually eat the amount of calories they said they were eating, and they lose
starving.
3 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there it is. Dr. Lane Norton. He really does know his stuff. And hopefully you caught on to all of those points he had. And at the very end there, if you didn't catch it, where he was talking about 1,500 calories and not losing weight, and that being hard to believe, the point there is a lot of people do eat a lot more than they really realize if they're not tracking relatively accurately for all the reasons that were discussed. So it's a real opportunity if you haven't done it before and you are serious and you want to hold yourself accountable to doing the right thing for your body to positively enhance your health. Get that MyFitnessPal app, or any tracking app if you wish, and track your food for a week. It'll be great. You'll get a ton of intelligent information from it that you'll be able to use to take your next step in your fitness and health journey.